Your secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids more worried about the
Alright guys, and today I'll be showing you the top 5 Minecraft PvP tips and tricks. Well, there's a lot more than 5, and we'll be singling down the basic ones that are all basically don't require anything like horses and stuff like that, just basic PvP style bows and swords. Alright, let's get down with the first tip. Alright, the first tip is the zigzag attack method. For this method, all you do is use a sprint and the W, A, S and D. If you're on console, you use the moving around, so you sprint and go left, right, left, right, left, right into your opponent. And once you've done that, you can maneuver around him, attack him, left, right, move around him. There you go. This method basically maneuvers around your opponent, meaning that his attacks are less likely to get on him, meaning that he's won't have less of a chance of killing you. It's a very good method, and I personally use it a lot because it's pretty much easy to use. All you do is go like that and maneuver around, except for flying, but you know, it's a very good method. Alright, I'll get back to you with the next tip in a second. Alright guys, I'll see you in a minute. Alright guys, the next tip is the critical method. Basically, your player or opponent will be here, for instance, and the critical method is when it can be done by a bow and a sword. The critical method is basically when you're falling or jumping. When you drop down like that, these particles come down. So you jump down. I'll do it again. It might be a bit confusing. So you jump, and when you hit the floor, you whack your opponent. So you just do that. That wasn't it, but you just jump up, and when you hit the floor, you whack your opponent. So when you do this, this gives like a critical damage, which is a bigger heart damage than a normal hit. So here's an example. It takes me 1, 2, 3 hits to kill a villager with a diamond sword, but with the crit damage, it is 2. That is a massive increase, so that's a really good increase. Let me just get rid of that. So this is easy. All you got to do is find your opponent. You can just jump, let go, jump, let go, jump, let go. There you go, dead. 2 hits. That's a very good tip, and we'll be moving on to tip number 3, and I'll get back to you guys when I have it ready. Alright guys, tip number 3 is the block attack method. Excuse me, you're in my territory. Get out of here. There you go, let's get him out of there. Basically, this method is, say you're in a tight spot where you can't really get out. Well, there's a way of getting out like there, but just to block the pick out. If you're in a like tight little alleyway and you're face to face with your opponent, or pretty much tight next to him, all you got to do is hit both buttons, the attack and the defend. So these, both of them at the same time. So it looks like this, like that. Let's just get another pig, for example, and block him in this time, so he can't get out. And basically, you just do that at the same time. It looks really weird. So you attack and defend at the same time, just like this. That means that when you're attacking, when the opponent hits you back, there's a slight chance of you blocking the attack by a few hearts, meaning that you'll most likely survive. Because you can only use this in a tight area, because if you do this normally, look, you can't go as fast, meaning that you need to use this method when you're in a little tight area, or when you're face to face with your opponent, because you can't really move around freely when you do it. You have to like pause, and you go really slow. So that's tip number 3, and I'll get back to you with tip number 4 in a second. Alright guys, tip number 4. Alright, using your terrain to your advantage is a very important skill, and to use this skill is very easy. All you have to do is pick your terrain, and you can lead your opponent up it, or you can just sit around it and wait for people to come. If you got the height advantage over someone, it's most likely you will kill that person. Say for instance, you're on top of this little hill, let's pretend little hill, and your opponent is climbing this place here. Look at this, the way he's standing, and as you can see that we have a height advantage. You can maneuver around him with the height advantage just like this, so you can jump over and get the critical hit. Didn't even mean to do that. I'm just going to go in slash game mode 0 so I can do it properly. So you got your villager there, and you got your height advantage, so you can maneuver around him. So you've got that, get the critical hit, and he's dead. So it's a very good tip because it allows you to maneuver, jump around him, and kill him, and he won't expect you to be there. Another way to use this is when your person, say your villager is chasing you, and you're running up here, and you just turn around, jump off and hit him, and get the critical hit. Remember guys, to get the critical hit when you're jumping down, so it's important to get it. Alright guys, I'll get back to you with the next tip, which is right behind it. It's pretty simple. Using water and bow to your advantage. Right, this method can be used in a couple of ways. Say for instance, there is a person chasing you. So, wait, I think that's rubbish. Oh, don't mind these squids. Say there's a person chasing you in the water, and he's like, oh god, he's chasing you. And you realise you have a bow. And he doesn't have a bow because he would be shooting at you by now. So if you have a bow in the water, use your bow to the advantage. Because look, when you're in the water, let's do that again. Don't want it to get knocked back. So there's a guy in the water. When you hit him with a bow, they can't hit you with a weapon. Not a weapon, with a sword. It means they're unable to hit you with a sword. Meaning that you're the advantage of hitting them with a bow, which means they can't do anything. Because when they're in water, they can't escape. Because look, this guy cannot escape. Well, he can, but you'll be killing him by now. So look. Okay, don't. Just ignore them. They'll just go away. Basically, when you're in the water, use your bow to your advantage and kill the person chasing you. Because then you should be able to kill him with a bow and arrow. And the other method is when you're being chased by someone. So there's a couple, person or two chasing you, and you know you have a bow in your inventory, and you might know that they don't. So you lead them into the water and pretend there's chasing you. This guy's chasing you. Turn around, get the bow out, shoot them. They can't do anything to kill you with the sword. So pretty much you're invincible for a second until you kill them. And there you go. You've killed them pretty much with the bow and there you go. Don't forget that with your bow, when you put it all the way back, it means you get the critical boost. When you put it all the way back, there you go. Critical boost when you put it all the way back, just like the sword. So don't forget guys to use these tips when you're next PvPing to get the critical damage and stuff like that. And your zigzag method. And maneuver around your opponents. And the height advantage. Oh no, he's got the height advantage over YOLO. Get the critical damage and he's dead. There we go. Let's see if we can just get the critical damage on these guys down here. So all you do to get the critical damage at a high point is see these people down there. You jump down, when you fall, hit him. He's dead. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching today's episode, not episode 1 about tutorial / video. And hopefully you guys found out something new. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.